moment of inertia and moment of inertia of different objects. Before starting the lecture, click on the subscribe button and you will get access to hundreds of conceptual videos for free. If you watch this video till the end, you are going to learn the best and highly difficult concepts of moment of inertia which no one is going to teach you. Let me clear your concept about inertia. There is a bicycle and a truck at rest. Now if you push on this bicycle, you can easily change its state of rest. I mean you can move this bicycle easily. While if you push on this heavy truck, you cannot easily change its state of rest. Or in terms of physics, you can say that this truck feels hesitation or doesn't want to change its state of rest, while this bicycle loves to change its state of rest. Here, let me ask you a question. Why this bicycle loves to change its state of rest, while this truck doesn't want to change its state of rest? I am sure you are thinking about the difference in masses. If it is so, then you are 100% right. Let me explain it in the strange world of physics. Teachers in the college or in the school will teach you that inertia is the tendency of an object to maintain its state of rest or uniform motion. But I personally hate this definition. It is so simple. I always say that the relationship between mass and state of an object is known as inertia. Here the mass of the bicycle is small. That is why it easily changes its state of rest. While here the mass of truck is large. That is why it doesn't want it all to change its state of rest. Therefore, this example teaches us that there is direct relationship between mass and state of an object. Or you can say that there is direct relationship between mass and inertia. The mass of the bicycle is small. Thus, the inertia of the bicycle is also small. And it is easy to change the state of rest of a bicycle, while the mass of the truck is large. Thus, the inertia of the truck is also large, and it is very difficult to change its state of rest. Now, let me teach you the concept of force and torque. According to Newton's second law, if the net force on the object is not zero, body of mass m will accelerate in the direction of force. For example, when you push on bicycle of mass m in this direction, linear acceleration a will produce in the bicycle. That's why Newton states that F is equal to ma. Now when you open or close the door, you exert force on the handle of the door. As a result, door rotates at a fixed point or fixed axis. Here your force produces rotation in the door. In physics, when a force produces rotation in an object, we call this as a torque. Or you can say that torque is rotational equivalent of a force. Hence torque is equal to cross product of force and moment arm. So you exert torque on the door, you do not actually exert force on the door. Remember these two very important points about force and torque. Force produces linear acceleration A in a body, like in the case of a bicycle, while torque produces angular acceleration alpha in a body, like in the case of a door. If you have learned all these concepts, you can easily learn the concept of moment of inertia. Now, what is moment of inertia? Let's consider a mass m attached to the end of a massless rod. Now, let a force F is acting on the mass m. As a result, this mass m rotates on the circumference of a circle of radius r from a fixed point O. Here, if I ask you, Either I am exerting force F on this mass or torque on this mass M. I hope you know the answer. Here I exert both the force and torque. As I told you that when you see an object rotating around a fixed point, think that it is due to the torque. Think that there is a big giant person, namely torque, is present behind this rotation. According to Newton's second law, here F is equal to ma, where F is the force on this mass m and a is the tangential acceleration of this mass m, while the torque on this mass is equal to F into r, where F is again the force and r is the radius of the circle. We also know that when an object is rotating around fixed axis, object possesses both tangential acceleration and angular acceleration. Hence, this mass m possesses both tangential acceleration at and angular acceleration alpha. Let me teach you here a very tricky and difficult question. If someone asks you that why this mass m possesses both tangential acceleration and angular acceleration, you can answer this by saying that this mass m is rotating around a fixed point O. So there is torque behind the rotation of this mass m. We know that torque always produces angular acceleration alpha. As long as this object m is rotating, the mass m possesses angular acceleration. Now cut the rod. The mass will move with tangential acceleration at in a straight line. Therefore, the relationship between tangential acceleration at and angular acceleration alpha is at is equal to alpha into r. Hence, Newton's second law, F is equal to ma, can be written as F is equal to m into alpha r. As turning effect is produced by the torque, hence it would be better to write the equation of rotation for this mass m in terms of torque. So we will multiply both sides of this equation by r, and we will get r into F is equal to m into r into alpha into r. Hence torque is equal to mr square into alpha. Here we know that alpha is the angular acceleration. Then what about the mr square? In physics, mr square is known as a moment of inertia. Moment of inertia is denoted by I, and it is equal to mr square. Therefore, wherever you see mr square, say to yourself it is moment of inertia of an object rotating on a circular track of any circle. Or you just remember that moment of inertia is Mr. Square. Now let me teach you some other concepts of moment of inertia. We have learned that if the mass m of an object is large, its inertia will be large. Hence, it will be difficult to produce linear acceleration in an object of mass m. Or one can say that linear acceleration depends upon the mass of an object. Now, what about the mass present on a circular path and we want to produce angular acceleration alpha in this mass? The angular acceleration or rotation in this object doesn't depend only upon its mass. Angular acceleration alpha and rotation of this object depends on radius of the circle. Or you can say that angular acceleration alpha depends upon the moment of inertia of this mass. I mean, I is equal to mr square. If this mass m is nearer to the axis of rotation, radius of the circle will be small. As a result, moment of inertia will be small. Hence, it will be very easy to produce angular acceleration alpha in this mass. Now, if the mass m is farther away from the center our axis of rotation. Radius of the circle will be large. As a result, moment of inertia will be large, and it will be very difficult to produce rotation or angular acceleration in this mass m. So from this example, we learn that if the mass is away from the axis of rotation or center, radius will be large. As a result, moment of inertia will be large, and it will be very difficult to produce rotation or angular acceleration in this mass m. Also remember that we can easily reduce the moment of inertia of an object by placing the object near the axis of rotation. Now it is time to teach you the moment of inertia of different objects with tricky examples. Let's consider a thin hoop, a ring, and a disk. Let the mass of the hoop is 5 kg and the mass of the disk is also 5 kg. Let the radius of the ring or the hoop is 3 meter and the radius r of the disk is also 3 meter. If I ask you, I am interested to produce rotation or angular acceleration both in thin hoop or ring and in the disk, then which object can easily be rotated? We know that the point masses of the thin hoop is away from the center or axis of rotation, while the point masses of the disk is uniformly distributed across the center or axis of rotation. Hence, the moment of inertia I is equal to mr square of this thin hoop is large, while the moment of inertia I is equal to half of mr square of this disk is small. Although the masses of both the disk and the hoop are 5 kg and having same radius of 3 meter, but due to the different distribution of masses, the moment of inertia of hoop is large. Hence, it will be difficult to rotate it compared to the disk, while the moment of inertia of disk is small. Hence, it will be very easy to rotate the disk compared to thin hoop. Now, let me give you an example of rods having uniform masses. Let's consider that we have a rod of length L which is rotating around a fixed axis, while on the other side we have a rod of same length L which is also rotating around its own axis. The length L of this rod is 5 meter and the length L of this rod is also 5 meter. The mass m of this rod is 1 kg, while the mass of this rod is also 1 kg. As I told you that these both rods are rotating, then which rod, this rod or this rod is rotating fast if the torques on both the rods are the same? The answer is that we can easily determine that in this case, the point masses are away from the axis of rotation, while in this case, the point masses are nearer to the axis of rotation. Hence, its moment of inertia I is equal to 1 upon 3 ml square, while the moment of inertia I of this rod is 1 upon 12 ml square. The moment of inertia of this rod is small compared to this rod. Hence, this rod is rotating fast compared to this rod. At last, let me discuss the rotation of the Earth. We all know that the Earth spins around its own axis, while the Earth also rotates around the Sun in nearly circular track. Can you explain the rotation of the Earth around the Sun and its spinning around its own axis on the basis of moment of inertia? I hope you can. We know that the Earth is in the sphere shape. During spinning, the mass of the Earth is near or equally distributed around its axis. Hence, its moment of inertia I will be 2 upon 5 mr square. While here in this case, let's consider that the Sun is a fixed point or fixed point of rotation around which Earth is rotating. The distance or radius r between the Sun and the Earth is large. So we also consider the Earth as a point mass m. Hence here, the moment of inertia of the Earth will be I is equal to mr square. In this case, the moment of inertia I of the Earth 2 upon 5 mr square is small, while here the moment of inertia I of the Earth mr square is large. Therefore, the Earth is spinning fast around its own axis due to small moment of inertia. That is why the Earth spins around its own axis in 24 hours or in 1 day. While in this case, the moment of inertia of the Earth is large. That is why the Earth rotates slowly around the Sun and it takes 365 days to complete one round trip around the Sun. I hope that you have learned the concept of moment of inertia. Thank you very much for watching this video.